You guys may remember that a month or so ago I made a video talking about my weird middle school teacher. I liked making that video, and I have another crazy story to tell you that actually took place around the same time as the last video. My middle school years were goofy, okay? But without further ado, grab a beverage, grab your favorite kind of Twinkie, and wipe the crusty Cheetos off your couch, because this is gonna get wild. So like I said, this took place in middle school, around 7th grade. And I just moved to a new school that year. Honestly, around that time, I was super awkward and I didn't really know what to do when it came to talking to people. So because of that, I happened to be friends with some not the best people. Pretty much the people you'd expect to go around and do really stupid things. And that's what they did. But I'm not going to get into that because that should be self-explanatory. Now, like the last video, I'm not going to mention any names or anything because I don't want there to be a chance for anyone to find out who these people are and harass them. That would just be unnecessary. So I'm just going to do fake names. So it's about November or so. There's a new kid in the school. We're going to call him Thomas. Again, that's not his real name. Thomas was pretty quiet. And he had long hair all over his head, pretty much like a mullet, like everywhere. But the one thing that stuck out to most people was that he had 3 fingers on his right hand, with scars where the other 2 should be. I thought he seemed nice enough, so I started talking to him some, and within a couple weeks we were quote-unquote friends. At least I thought we were at the time. It turns out that he was friends with the kids who did drugs and all the bad things in our grade. Honestly, I didn't really let it bother me. I don't know why. So I still stayed friends with him, along with the 2 or 3 other people I was friends with before he came. So we all hung out together. Hanging out with him was starting to have an effect on me in a couple of months, and was starting to make me feel kind of miserable. But the problem was I only talked to them, and I didn't know who else to be friends with because, again, I was awkward at the time. And especially since I lived in a decently small town around 7,000, and so there's not much new people to talk to. So I continued to be friends with Thomas and his friends, even though I knew what it was doing to me. Anyway, there would be a couple times where he would tell me something wacky he was going to do, like knocking over a trash can at the park or blasting music in public. I kind of just said, alright, whatever. Never really cared because I figured if he did it, it wouldn't be my fault because I had nothing to do with it. And from what I knew, he didn't do any of those things that he would talk about doing. Anyway, there was an instance where he told me that he was going to pull the fire alarm on the last day of school. It was about March at the time, so there was about a month and a half or so left of school. Again, I just shrugged it off and didn't think much of it. But for the next couple weeks to a month, he would keep bringing that up, that he was going to pull it. And it kind of seemed more believable that he was actually going to do it. I tried to just send hints to him, just saying that this might be too far and all that. But he barely listened and tried to assure me that it would be funny. So the last day of school finally comes. And the day goes by normal, until the very end of the day. When everyone was leaving for the summer, all of a sudden I hear meep, 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 with the fire alarms flashing. I really didn't know what to think at that time, other than he actually did it. I never got in trouble, thankfully, but Thomas got suspended for a long time that next year. The next year there was an assembly, and the principal brought up the pulling of the fire alarm, talking about how badly it scared him and how he wants everyone to be safe. We didn't see Thomas until about the 2nd quarter that year. So yeah, that's the time that someone I knew pulled the fire alarm at school. Now you might be wondering, where is he now? Well, it seems like he's gotten worse. He's doing a lot of drugs, and I have never seen him at school other than a couple times. So he might be either doing online or he's gotten expelled. Whatever the case is, I haven't seen him in a while and certainly am not friends with him anymore. So yeah, that's about it. Be safe and take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you guys later.